Hi there, have you ever woken up from a drunken stupor, not know where your car is, have a pocket full of $2 bills, and for some reason or another, there is a parakeet flying around your house? Well, I have. So in this video, we're going to be talking about relapse prevention, that sneaky bastard relapse. How did it happen? How did I get here? Why? Why? Well, according to science, relapse isn't an event, it is a process. I'm going to help you recognize that process in this video, discovering recovery strategies, addiction triggers, to help you in your early sobriety, to come up with a relapse prevention plan. Well, in case you're wondering who the hell is this guy, I'll tell you. My name is James. I'm a grateful recovering addict and alcoholic. I drank and used for 20 years recklessly, and I've been recovering for 3. My sobriety date is January 18th, 2016. I post a video here weekly on what it was like, what happened, what it's like now, my stories. Please subscribe, hit the bell for weekly videos. Check the resources out in the description. Various links to websites, products, and resources to help you out or help a loved one. And I'll also post videos up here in this lowercase I. Let's talk about relapse. Some people suggest that relapse is a part of recovery. Now, it doesn't always have to be, but it is a common part of the process of recovery. It is the beginning. It takes rock bottom, sometimes after rock bottom, for an addict to finally stop. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 most common signs of the process of relapse, including withdrawal, emotional, mental, and physical. There are 3 stages of relapse: emotional, mental, and physical. So let's talk about it. If you're anything like me, you'll notice that the relapse didn't just come out of nowhere. If you think back weeks, even months before you actually picked up the drink or the drug, I have recalled in my own behavior certain signs that I now recognize and address before I actually pick up. The first stage is emotional relapse. Emotional relapse manifests as poor self-care, sleeping, hygiene, eating, sometimes not going to work, being antisocial. These were the things that I noticed in myself. Stop going to meetings. That old saying of meeting makers make it has rang true. In my instance, I've had multiple relapses over the years. It took me pretty much a decade to get it down, and I relapsed, but every one of them had things in common. I had stopped going to meetings, I had stopped taking care of myself, I had stopped living life. Things that essentially we all learn in grade school: brushing our teeth, making our bed, asking for help when we need it, sharing our feelings, being honest with others and ourselves. So if you catch yourself behaving in a dishonest manner, this is denial manifesting. The second stage of relapse is all up in your own head. You start fantasizing about using, planning a relapse, romanticizing your drinking and using days, thinking about and or hanging around people, places, things that you used to use with. You tend to be dishonest. Your emotions start manifesting as thoughts and eventually actions. This is when it gets harder and harder to make the right choices. We've all heard that if you want to change, you have to change. There's only one thing you have to change, and it's everything: people, places, and things. The people you used to use and drink with, we gotta ditch them. The places we used to go to drink and use, they're no longer on the map, and things we used to do while we drink and use, I personally don't do them anymore. I've tried, and I've relapsed, all 3 of them. People, places, and things. If you find yourself participating in any of the 3 of those things, then you gotta watch out. It doesn't matter what you tell yourself. It doesn't matter how strong your willpower is. If you stop going to meetings, if you stop taking care of yourself, if you start hanging around people, places, doing things that you used to do when you drank and used, it's coming. And that's not my opinion. That's an observation. The final stage of relapse is self-explanatory. It's the physical. This is where we actually follow through and begin to use. We pick up, we either drink or use, we go buy drugs or go to the liquor store and get alcohol. This is the stage where we bang on the table and say, why, what happened? But if you know what to look for, you can avoid the physical stage. Take care of yourself and be honest. Rigorous honesty is necessary. How? H-O-W. Honesty, open-mindedness, willingness. Exercise these 3 things Honesty being the first and foremost, and you can avoid relapse. There's another acronym, HALT, H-A-L-T, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. These are emotions or states of being where if you find yourself being in these things consistently, it's a bad sign. We, as addicts and alcoholics, if you're anything like me, I started drinking and using when I was 14. Drank and used where I was supposed to be learning how to deal with life, but I never learned how to deal with being hungry, angry, lonely, or tired without drinking. I would run to my instant gratification mechanism, my self-medication, drugs or alcohol. So I never learned. Now in sobriety, since we can't drink or use without dying, going to jail or institutions, then we have to now learn how to deal with it like a normal, healthy human being. This is where the fun comes in. If you're hungry, eat. If you're angry, anger management. If you're lonely, go to a meeting. And if you're tired, take a nap. Simple solutions like these can be much better alternatives to drinking and then winding up in the gutter. There's another suggestion in the rooms of AA and NA is don't get into a romantic or sexual relationship within the first year of your sobriety. In fact, don't make any big decisions, financial, emotional, relationship-wise, for the first year. There's a reason for this. Relationships especially, and sex, as you may well know, can produce a lot of emotional turmoil, and emotions in the inexperienced addict's brain will inevitably lead to relapse. So stay away from sex. You can do it. Isolation, another saying in the rooms is don't hang out in your own head, it's a bad neighborhood. This is where sharing comes in. This is where talking comes in. This is where picking up the 1,000-pound phone and calling another addict or alcoholic comes in. It's a proven method. It's been proven successful for a century. Don't think about it, just do it. Proven method. Don't hang out in your own head. Don't isolate. Don't just sit around thinking about stuff. Pride and overconfidence. This is a big one for me. I went 10 months without drinking and using, and you start to think you're on top of the world. You got it. You got this. And you don't. You don't have it. Pride and overconfidence. This is where practicing humility comes in. The I got this attitude is very dangerous in the addict's world. It will kill you. You will be humiliated, whether it's by your own choice or by the addiction itself. If the addiction has to do it, it is very painful. It's relatively painless if you decide to humiliate yourself and remain that way, which is difficult. Just like everything else, to consistently be humble is difficult, but if you get cocky, you start to forget where you came from, it will take you and it will put your face back in the gutter, and you'll wake up having relapse on the physical tier and be like, why? Why didn't I just recognize and prevent? Well, that's what we're here for, is to start practicing these relapse prevention techniques. Come up with a plan. If you catch these behaviors, isolation, bad relationships, pride and overconfidence, hanging around people, places, and things, you can catch them early enough to where you don't have to relapse over and over again. You don't even have to relapse once. I just want to take a moment and thank you all for the support and the comments, the likes and the shares. I'm really happy with the participation and the support and the community that's evolving. My last video, Denise made a comment that relates directly to this video. Do you get dreams of relapsing? Yes, Denise, I get drinking dreams. Most recently has been drug dreams, drinking dreams. Most often it involves me hiding and being shameful. I've actually heard people say that enjoy them, they're freebies. I actually take advantage of the feeling of guilt and shame from these drinking dreams to remind myself of the consequences and the feeling of going backwards, of starting over, of being ashamed. And I take this as a reminder that it's almost like a freebie, like a fake relapse. You don't get any of the consequences, you just get the feeling and the reminder. So drinking dreams, thank you for the comment, Denise, and thank you all for the comments. Do you get drinking dreams or using dreams? Scroll all the way down if you're on your phone to comment. Also, if you're on your phone, hit this little drop down arrow to take you down to the description where I've put some links to resources, websites, and some products. Buy some stuff, I get a cut. I'd appreciate it. And until next time, just keep it real, keep it clean, and just keep doing this relapse prevention thing. We'll see you next time.